Okay. I'm recording this while I have COVID, and that's why my voice kinda sucks. Yeah, so bear with me. Also, I called this like 2 years ago, and no one said anything. Yeah, I contracted the coronavirus. Yeah. God damn it.
The motherfucking world is a ghetto, full of magazines, full clips, and heavy metal when the smoke settle. I'm just looking for a big yellow. It's 6 inch stiletto.
Good comedy derives from the want to make people laugh or smile. And I really love to laugh. I mean, not as much as the next guy, but I really do love to laugh. You know, like all people do. But it's something even more special when I get to make something that can make people laugh. It's a blessing when you see that people actually enjoy the stuff you're putting out and love doing. Believe it or not, it's one of the only few advantages of being a content creator. And trust me, there's only a few. It's weird, but there's something about making someone smile or laugh that makes people want to make more things that make people smile or laugh. Well, maybe it's not that weird, but you continue creating back to back to back, even if the first time around, it's not as high quality as you hoped it would be. But that's okay. Everyone starts somewhere, including me. Hell, look at the first pilot for Final Space. One of the few shows that came to be one of my favorites of all time. Like me, like you, and like everyone. It's about the drive of wanting to create and make something you're proud of. And making online content is one of the few avenues where you can express yourself and your personality without restrictions. And I find that beautiful. But when that slim chance happens that online creators get a shot at creating something for a TV network or a streaming service like Adult Swim, HBO, or Fox, it's always something special. But at times can also be very, very daunting. From the likes of, like I said, Final Space, an amazing fantasia of intergalactic adventures, and Has-Been Hotel, filled with tons of amazing character designs and great in-depth lore spanning multiple locations, blowing expectations out of the water. And it hasn't even come out yet. Also, I made a video about that, so you should check it out. But what those two shows have in common is they were made by creators who started on the internet, making things they felt really passionate about. As if they really, really cared about what they were making. But don't all creators feel passionate about their projects? I mean, hey, it can't be that some of these shows created on big networks are made by people who don't give a fuck about animations or cartoons, right? Right? Well, Smiling Friends is a show created by Zach Hadel and Michael Cusack. And it's fucking hilarious! I mean, come on, it was really no surprise, right? When this was announced back in 2020, I and many others were like, yep, okay, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And I was right, for once. But what actually makes it as amazing as it is pretty much everything about it. From the character designs and quippy dialogues, from claymation to 3D models to old 1970s animation, and back to modern animation, it's fucking crazy how much was put into this series in the little to no time since its pilot's production. With a huge range of comedy that never lingers or feels repetitive, it could go from getting a quick meal,
man, I could really go for some salties right now,
to solving a murder investigation with condiments. From preparing a Halloween party with friends, to beating up some demon for doing blackface.
Is that blackface, dude?
No, this isn't blackface. I'm an actual...
Or chopping down a Christmas tree.
Is this putting you in a bad mood?
to literally being tortured by angry video game nerd as the devil in hell, and then being saved by Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert fucking Gottfried. The characters in the show are so expressive and tend to leave a long-lasting spot in your heart. Charlie, the rational, chubby employee guiding his coworkers in the right direction. And cute Pim, full of wonder and whimsy, always hoping to help out people in need when they need it. Alan, the long-bodied desk jockey that just wanted to have some cheese. And the adorable, chaotic iPad kid, Glep, invading TV shows and dancing whatever he wants. They all have this weird, wacky chemistry, but honestly, it works. It feels like regular show met The Office and replaced Michael with a dude who breastfeeds.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening!
And the cameos? Don't even get me started. They got Finn Wolfhard, Tom Fulp, David Firth,
My girlfriend just broke up with me.
and Chills.
Number 50.
The Burger King foot lettuce guy. And they almost got Chris Chan.
Reese Puddle from the Salty episode.
Chris Chan. Yeah, I'm not saying this lightly. No expenses were spared when creating this show, and you can tell. With an amazing animation and writing team putting such vibrance and passion into what they could believe to be a good show. They really did, without a doubt, create a good show. And people really could tell. When almost 378 million people told them to pick up the show, it was a no-brainer to, pick up the show. The reception was great. Everyone wants a second season, and it's probably one of the best shows Adult Swim has put out in the last 5 years. And at that, created by two people who spent their whole lives creating things that they thought were funny and that they cared about. Two people who constantly surprise and stun people with their visuals and fluid animation. Two people who constantly make people laugh all the time with their solo projects. Two people who, well, let's just say, Smiling Friends is timeless. So, why don't we see more stuff like this? Well, because a lot of people just don't care. I mean, a lot of people do care, but the people who are given these opportunities to make animated shows just don't really care about animation and only want to do it for a quick buck. And I'm not just pulling things from a hat here and saying all adult animation is bad, but from the words of Saberspark, people like to look at animation as a genre and not the artistic medium that it actually is. And when you look at the state of adult animated cartoons, it's really not hard to see. Horrible cash grabs are being produced by comedians of any capacity, plaguing what could be a promising industry. From Chicago Party Ant, The Prince, that god-awful Netflix show Hoops, and the worst offender of them all, fucking Fairview. I could not, for the life of me, sit through a second of this goddamn show. It felt like the heads of Comedy Central were like, wow, South Park is doing super well. Why don't we make something similar but somehow infinitely fucking worse? The jokes are bad, the animation looks like it was ran through a fucking sewer drain, the voices are blander than this steak I cooked. And it's not really a bad prediction either, considering it was being marketed the same day South Park Season 5 came out. And sadly, this isn't uncommon for these shovelware-like adult shows. They all sound and look like this, from one copy to the next. Hell, look at Brickleberry and then look at Paradise PD. You see what I mean? Of course, the odd and rare cases do apply, and sometimes they could be fucking amazing, such as F is for Family, and the Trailer Park Boys animated series, and Q-Force. But the only reason those are good and succeed is because the creators actually care. A lot of the shows that I stated were just made to be crap. And just forced out to pander to audiences that like the shows that these abominations are aspiring to be. When creating things, there needs to be, I don't know, a certain drive and passion. No rules, just like what you create. I could go on and on about that, but I'll save that for my guest. So here's SRPELO.
When it comes to content creating, animation, or really just looking for a job, there's never really one strict way to go about it. Of course, there is some nuance to finding what you like, but tons of people broaden their horizons to different ventures and career paths all the time. I mean, that's kind of why we go to school. But it does become disorienting to, go through the whole rigmarole to sift through all the things that never really scratch the itch you're looking for. But when you find that amazing pastime, that hobby, it really encapsulates your whole life into a great big world that you've never seen before. Whether it be animation, voice acting, directing, anything, even studying as a professional clown. It's just that one thing that sets you off with passion is indescribably one of the best feelings anyone could ever have. And I feel that with Smiling Friends. That same sentiment really does show through its work. Well, I mean, that's for everything, right? But there is something about its dry humor and visual comedy that really just embodies the sentiment of passion. I mean, it comes from a different kind of writers. This is way different than the other adult animations. It doesn't have jokes where you need to know, like, popular people to understand the joke. It doesn't have the cynical criticism on society. It's just a different kind of comedy, and not only that, but the visual comedy, the humor, and the animation shows a lot of passion through it, even if it's just dumb jokes or just nonsense. And I feel like that's what all adult animation should strive for. Whether it be dumbed down for a stoner, something intellectual and pretentious, or just seemingly utter nonsense, as long as it has that passion to work for it, that passion to see it from the start and the end, and just enjoying the work, rather than be on a side with a certain kind of group, or just feeling bucks on your pocket. As long as it has that passion, it will always be an amazing piece of work. I just don't want more jokes of you need to know who's this Warler Morgarson. I don't know who that is. I don't understand these jokes. I don't know who Jackson Peterson is. Stop doing those kind of jokes. I'm gonna do a cartoon about famous people. That's boring. Boring.
As more and more new adult animated shows come out each year, more often than not, things get muddled and watered down. And a precedent gets set that these are and should be the norm, when they shouldn't. Studios don't take chances on people who really deserve them. And we get left with this. Now, it's all about staying comfortable and sticking to your guns and chasing what could be good by seeing what has worked for so long in the industry. But that doesn't work. As time passes, our tastes, our likings, and the world changes. There's so much room for experimenting and wonder, but if we're stuck in this rut of repeating these same tendencies, then nothing can evolve and take shape into something new. Having these carbon copies be remade over and over and over does nothing for the creative minds, and harms the animation industry by not giving room for creativity and exploration. Smiling Friends isn't just a show about two guys trying to make people happy. Well, it is, but more than that, it's a promising future for those online and everywhere looking to make a career doing what they love. Animation. Comedians and comedy writers don't really understand what goes into animating. There's millions of ways they could express things with animation that they couldn't with live-action media, and avenues they're not taking because they didn't start their careers going into writing for animation, and I don't think they can really grasp that. And it really shows. Tens of thousands of people all have ideas for things they want to do, and when they're given the chance, they can and will make something amazing. Has Been Hotel, Long Gone Gulch, Becky Prim, all amazing. With new generations comes new ideas, and now we're seeing that more than ever. But it's about taking that leap into the unknown and making that gamble to hopefully make someone smile. Thank you to Kaapalkeens for editing this video. I know it's been a long time since we did this, and I love you, baby. And thank you to SRPELO for getting on this video with me. He's a big inspiration to me, and I absolutely adore his work. Thank you. Sorry it took so long for me to upload. I've been struggling with a lot of things in my life, and I have COVID now, so, it sucks. And as of me making this video, Smiling Friends has been renewed for season 2. Fuck yeah! I promise to get back on a good schedule, and guess what's coming soon? Scott Pilgrim, Volume 6. But I'm Smeef, and I'll see you later. Alan could take a bite of my cheese, if you know what I mean.